Hey, it's Mastin Kipp, and welcome to today's coaching. I want to talk to you today about how to get out of your own way. When you think about what's wrong with your life, when you think about what's in the way, well, have you ever considered maybe it's you? Very rarely is it the environment, the economy, your friends, your family, how much money's in your bank account. Typically, when you're not moving forward, there's something about you that's blocking it. You know, one of my therapists told me many years ago, and when she said this to me, I was like, I got so angry, but it was so true at the time, and now I can say it to you with a smile on my face, a lot of love in my heart. If it makes you angry too, that's fine. But remember that the one thing that you and all your problems have in common is you. So today I'm going to invite you to maybe humble yourself a little bit and really look at how you're getting in your own way. You know, when I ask people why are they stuck, the typical answer that I get back is fear. But the thing is, fear is really misunderstood because, you know, we think that fear is just something simple like false evidence appearing real, or that fear is the opposite of love. But let me tell you something, fear can save your life. You need to have fear in the body. We have a limbic system and the amygdala for a purpose, for a reason, to help keep us safe and alive. So fear is not necessarily a bad thing, but what is difficult is unconscious or irrational fear, what I call survival patterns. Survival patterns are really a pattern or habit or behavior based on past trauma that holds you back from moving forward. And what's interesting is that they're unconscious, so you don't know that you have them. So when you have a survival pattern, you don't know it's there. It's a block. It's a blind spot, if you will. And so what I do is I help people get really crystal clear on these survival patterns and how to neutralize them. And the thing is, you can have a survival pattern overrun your life for days, months, years, decades, or an entire lifetime because we've all been traumatized by some version of the past, whether it's something significant or something simple like your father was 10 minutes late picking you up from school. So all of us have trauma in the body. We carry trauma in the body. And so there's a 4-step process that I've sort of identified and learned to help you really get out of your own way. Because what happens is when you get into these survival patterns, this negativity, this blame, victimization, these negative energies, these negative patterns, well, nothing good comes from that. So there's a 4-step process that helps you really break free and get out of your own way. I'm going to share with you that process is right now. And my ask is, I'm going to give you this information, this great coaching today, but actually implement it today. Don't let it be something you just listen to. Make this something that you actually implement. You promise? Okay, so here's what we do. Step 1, you want to identify the pattern. So the pattern might be a habit that you want to stop. It might be binge eating. It might be getting into an argument with somebody that you love. It might be playing small. It might be procrastination. It might be doubting your intuition. It might be, putting yourself last. There's lots of different ways of patterns that you want to look at. And when you have a survival pattern, you feel it in the body as stress. So usually you feel it like in the chest area, in the stomach area. You can feel it all over your body. Typically our clients feel it in the chest and stomach area. And then after you identify that it's there, you have to acknowledge it and say, hey, I see you, I hear you, because a survival pattern is just unconscious fear in the body looking for healing. It's a part of you that hasn't matured yet that's looking for recognition and for safety. And so it runs unconscious and drives you crazy until you identify it. And then you have to acknowledge it and say, I hear you, I see you, I'm not gonna run from you anymore. I'm not scared of you, I'm here. And then what we gotta do is we gotta neutralize it. So what does the pattern need to feel safe? Right? Maybe there's a reason why. Maybe you need to heal, you need to slow down, you gotta do less stuff, or maybe you gotta forgive somebody, or maybe it's time to leave a relationship, or maybe it's time to really get on that healthy train, the healthy diet. So the third step is to neutralize the pattern, because what happens is a lot of people like to find their patterns and then just let them go really big. And you don't wanna do that. You don't wanna talk about your pattern. You wanna neutralize that pattern. And then the 4th step is turn the pattern into a work of love, into something that makes the world a better place. So I'll give you an example. So when I first started my first business, the Daily Love blog, the pattern was I was coming out of another business where I was betrayed and I was broke as all could be. And I was really angry. So I got clear and I identified that I was angry. I acknowledged that I was angry. I didn't make myself wrong for it. And then my process of neutralizing it was, well, with anger, you can do all kinds of things. I like to think of anger as like an energy, like nuclear energy. Well, you can either, destroy a city or build a city, depending on how you use and channel your anger. So I really believe that I decided to take this anger and channel it into building the Daily Love blog. And so that was my process of neutralizing that pattern. And I turned it into a work of love that, literally has affected the lives of millions of people. So it was a positive and productive use of that pattern, that angry, frustrated pattern that felt betrayed in my body. So now, today, I don't run on anger. Today, I have a purpose much larger than that. However, when you're first getting started, you want to celebrate what motivates you. So the 4 steps to get out of your own way is you have to identify the pattern in your body. You have to acknowledge that it's there, Get about the business of neutralizing that sucker so that you can start to put your life into positive directions. One of the greatest ways to neutralize it is to dedicate yourself to a purpose or a cause greater than you. When you support life, life will support you. And you want to turn that into a work of love, into a larger purpose. This is how you turn shame, guilt, blame, anger, betrayal, whatever the negative pattern is, into something positive. This is how you get out of your own way. Remember that survival patterns just want you to stay alive. They think that they need to be there for you to survive and to be alive, but that's not the case. So you can get out of your own way today. There are so many other things that can block us that are external forces. So we want to get our mindset right and really look at, you know what, maybe this fear can go away. Maybe I can neutralize it. Maybe this pattern doesn't have to, maybe it's how it's been, but it's not how it's going to be. Maybe I have the opportunity here to really move forward and to change my life through changing this relationship to the survival pattern. No more running from the pattern. Time to identify it, acknowledge it, love it, neutralize it, and transform it into a productive use, productive work, and an act of love. So that's my coaching for you today. My deep wish here is that you apply what you've learned today. So what pattern can you identify? What acknowledgement does it need? How can you start neutralizing that pattern and transforming it into a greater work of love? This is an important question for you to have today so that you can no longer waste the time in blame, shame, judgment, and guilt. All right? So my deepest wish, as always, is to get out there, take action, and make it real. We'll see you real soon.